All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the man who taught me this truth. I would like to say shalom to you, Akim, and Fiu Akwath, you men, women, and little ones that believe on the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. It's your brother Micah Allah, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemal Washai, Lord willing to edify. And the title of this lesson is It Will Only Get Worse, And it's just a quick video, one of the brothers had sent to me. And of course, just continuing in the spirit of prophecy. As our Lord Yahweh Shai told us to watch as well as pray, and just considering the times that we in. We understand that right now we still have the liberty to go to these certain grocery stores, and we still have the luxuries to do certain things. But eventually, all of these things are going to be, put to an end, so to speak, or come to a stopping point, concerning different restaurants, different things like traveling that's being cut short, any luxury America has to offer you is eventually going to come. It's eventually going to come to an end, man, But I'm going to play this short clip right here. And it's this Eve right here. She lives in Alaska, and we're seeing the effects over here on American soils concerning certain food prices, because of course we got inflation going on, but hyperinflation is getting ready to settle in. And once hyperinflation settles in, as I'm about to show you in this video, it's going to be way worse than these prices that the people that live in Alaska are currently experiencing. But let's get straight into it, though.
Hey y'all, come with me to the one and only, pretty much, the grocery store in the remote area of Alaska that I am in. It's pretty much a grocery store slash clothing store slash where you get your phone, your Wi-Fi slash where you get your electricity starters slash where you'll get outside furniture slash where you'll get furniture for your house. It's a place all in one. So let's ride out. Okay, so this is Alaska commercial. We don't call it that. We call it AC. Look at these obscure prices. It is not cheap living over here. So every dollar counts. Nothing goes to waste. Everything has to get used. Like, this is insane. And then just wait for the produce. The produce is binoculars. No, but seriously, it's insane. It's definitely not easy living over here. So be grateful. This has definitely taught me so much of how to be more conservative. Hey y'all, come with me to the one and
Yeah, so as you can see, those prices were just sky high. You had milk $12.99 for just a gallon of milk. You had fruit was high. Just a pack of blackberries is $7-8, man. Tissue $30. But just wait to hyperinflation, because there's nothing compared to what is about to come. Because a person can probably afford that now. But just wait till the prices are $130 for some tissue, $1,000 for a thing of water, And that's going to contribute to the chaos that's going to come behind, these jacked up prices. Because, hey, the Americans live in comfort. You got a such term here in the West called comfort food, where you could eat, 24 hours out of the day, And here it is, These people outside this council, your average American, is all jacked up on processed food, sugar rushes, you know, to where they don't never give their body a chance to reset or heal, because your average American doesn't practice fasting, abstaining from certain things. You know, all they know is consuming. You know, that's all they know is consume. But that's gonna, bite you in the ass in the time to come. So it ain't gonna be no more Coca-Colas. You know, it ain't gonna be no more of that, man. Matter of fact, let's get this Habakkuk 2 and verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh Shemel Washah answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. You see? And it's the job of the prophets. The Lord has sent out our apostles and elders and like-minded men throughout the four corners of the earth to prophesy, meaning to say what Yahweh Shemel Washah has decreed, man. We're speaking the words of Yahweh Shemel Washah, you know. We're saying these things like a great famine is coming, chaos is coming, evils and only evils. We're speaking these things before they manifest themselves, man. We're ultimately speaking them into existence. And it's a certain warning that's going out, you see? And even though it's not catching majority of the attention of the people now, because you people think, you're still in peace and safety because you could go to a certain restaurant you like, but the Lord is going to put that to an end, man, and he's going to completely change the scenery of this place, mainly America. And that famine is going to be global. It's not just going to be mainly America. No, this is going to be global. You see, I'm just mentioning America because it's going to be worse over here. You see, it's going to be way worse because you don't hear too many stories about people in these other countries, killing somebody over a honey bun, putting their nephew to death over a honey bun. A motherfucker took your bag of chips. Your nephew took your bag of chips and you laid him to rest. You don't hear that in other countries. You only hear that crazy, outrageous behavior over here in America, because these are the most psychotic and demonic people you will ever meet, But continuing on, it says, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. You see, so we're making these things plain. But remember, it's only plain unto the holy, because this message really is only for the elect, This warning is not for, 2/3. This message is only for the elect, man, because only the elect would understand what's being spoken in these last days. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. You see? So the vision, these prophecies are set for an appointed time to come to pass. And this is how we know that we're on the right track concerning the timeline of prophecy. Because guess what? The wicked has been revealed through the Holy Spirit, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, has been revealed. And once this devil would be revealed in the last days, that's when the end, and when this gospel has went out throughout the four corners of the earth, that's a sign of where we are on that timeline of prophecy, as well as deliverance. That means we're at the end. You see? We no longer have to wait another 1,000 years, go another 2,000 years, and then the prophecies are going to be at hand. No, we're in that time now. This is the generation where Yahweh Shai is going to return, man, and deliver his elect and destroy 2/3 in America, man. So while these other camps have these different doctrines, want to push that mindset to you Israelites out there, like we still got a lot of time here. Like we still got another 10 years of this place. Absolutely not. And if you really paying attention, and if you really, got a head above your shoulders, man, just going amongst these people, you could see the Lord is going to destroy this generation. And I say, from my experience, when I go out amongst, these people, because I'm a younger brother, I'm in my early 20s. So it's like looking at the Jakes that's in my generation. They didn't had kids. They popping out these monsters, and the you could just see the decaying of these people, man. And it's really it's sickening to see, but it's prophecy because they must be on the scene. You see how wicked, this younger generation is, man, and how these niggas, they're not concerned about no famine. They're not, watching for the return of Yahweh Shai. These niggas really hate Yahweh Shai, really hate Yahweh Shai. And just how they react, you know what I mean? You could just say the most simplest things to these people, and they'll lose it. You tell Eve that you ask her a question, why you don't get your nails done as often, she'll lose it. Real shit. Eve lost it on me just because I asked her, you know what I mean, why she didn't keep her nails up, you know what I mean, or why she didn't get them done. That's the only thing I asked her, and she just fucking lost her mind. And I'm thinking it's a regular conversation, you know what I mean? But you can't have no regular conversation with these people because they bug the fuck out, man. But sticking to the point, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So these prophecies are not lying, man. They're speaking. Though it tarry, wait for it. So it may seem like it's tarrying, but we have been commanded to be still and know that Yahweh Shema Shai is, man. The Lord ain't a man that he should lie. He said he's going to send a famine in the land, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's also going to send that famine of the word as well, It says, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. And who is this? This concerning Esau Edom, because of course this goes back to Yahweh Shema Shai. This is the Lord's famine, but who is he orchestrating this famine through? Well, on the left-hand side, he's using Esau Edom to bring about this famine. So it's coming in the form of it's a man-made famine. It's not a famine that just popped up out of nowhere and don't nobody know why we so short on supplies and resources. No, this is strategic on the left-hand side, man. This is well calculated, well thought out, well planned out. That's why the scriptures told you the mindset of E. It ain't no uprightness in him. He ain't got a drop of righteousness in his spirit, man. He was created to be the wicked. And the Lord created the wicked for the day of destruction, man. For the day of evil, man. To what? Fulfill his will. You see? It says, but the just shall live by his faith, you see? But this is where the elect comes in at. Because Yahweh Shai even said, when he begins to make his return, shall he find faith on earth. And that's the only thing that the elect would have in these last days is pure faith and trust in Yahweh Shema Shai and in the report, man. But that's what sets us apart from everybody else outside this council, because all men have not faith. You see? Let's get this. Bear with me. I got a lot coming to mind. I'm just trying to find. Let me see. Here you go. This Psalms 105 in verse 16. It says, moreover, he called for a famine upon the land. He brake the whole staff of bread. You see? And when you look throughout, the history of Israel, this wouldn't be the first time that the Lord sent forth a famine. The Lord has sent forth famines upon Israel plenty of times and plenty of captivities, going all the way back to the when we were under the Egyptians, So it ain't nothing new under the sun, man. But like I said earlier, this is the Lord's famine, But as for the elect, this is what the Lord said for those that believe. Because remember, we just read in that Habakkuk, the just is going to live by faith. So, meaning the elect is going to have the mindset that even though everything around us is dried up, the Lord is still going to make a way. You see? This is just the wilderness 2.0, in a spiritual sense, Because remember, when we were exit out of Egypt, and we began the journey in the wilderness, we didn't have, we didn't have no supplies from Egypt to sustain us, for long periods of times, like food and water. The Lord had to feed us, through Yahweh Shai. You see? The Lord had to step in on our behalf, and he's going to do the same today, man. And then this is the way America is set up. This is the perfect scenery for Yahweh Shema Shai to show his power, man. And the reason why I say that is because here it is. In all the other captivities we've been under, we never had radioactive food. We didn't have GMO foods, man. Genetically modified organisms. We didn't have that shit, But through the wicked being in power, this dude is poisoning the foods, but it was prophesied we'll eat our bread, defile among the Gentiles, but that just the Lord showing like, y'all need me. That's why Yahweh Shai said, without me, you can do nothing. And that's literally what he meant. Like, we can't do shit on our own down here, man. You could try to, conjure up your own garden in your backyard. That shit ain't gonna sustain you. Because when FEMA come in, when Trump send the National Guard through, FEMA through, you ain't gonna be in your house, man. They taking you up out of there. And then what's gonna happen to your crops? Or Lord may have an animal to just sack your shit and you ain't got a garden no more. You know? So either way it goes, you have to trust in Yahweh Shemel Washai, man. It's Isaiah 65 and verse 13. It says, therefore thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Washai power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So the Lord said the elect is going to eat. Lord willing, we are that number, we going to eat. But we got faith, though, that we going to eat, And brothers got testimonies on, matter of fact, I'll tell you one of my personal testimonies. It was one time I was hungry, and I believe I told this before. I just got off work, but I had just started a new job, and you know how you got to do, I think it's a week in a hole, something like that, whatever that wicked shit is you call. But I basically didn't get paid right away, So I was hungry one day, and I went to chill at this little restaurant spot when I got off, and this Eve, she just asked me out of nowhere. Like in my head, I was like, Lord, I'm hungry, you know what I mean? But out of nowhere, the Eve that was working at this wing spot in there, she just asked me, you hungry? You want some? And at first I was like, nah, I'm straight. But then she kind of pushed it. She was like, what you want? You know what I mean? The Lord put the spirit on her to say that. You know what I mean? And she looked out for me. And I got exactly what I want. I think I ordered like a 15 or a 20 piece on her. You know what I mean? And it was free. It was free. So, call halal Yahweh Shemel Washai. That was just the Lord looking out. Like, you know what I mean? So how much more in the time where we really need the Lord to step in on our behalf, And we ain't finna be eating no goddamn GMOs in Jacob's Trouble, man. When this famine really come, you think the Lord gonna be feeding us a bag of Doritos to sustain us when that shit is already defiled? No. Why would the Lord put more stuff in us that don't benefit us, man? No, the Lord is gonna feed us with things, like manna. We gonna have manna again, man. Or whatever the Lord decides to feed us with is going to be packed with full nutrients, and you could only you could be sustained, for however long the Lord wants you to be sustained. You could probably eat one time out of the whole experience of Jacob's Trouble, because there's going to be a lot of things that's going on that other people are not going to be able to explain. The Lord's power is going to be on display like never seen before, man. You see? But continuing on, it says, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. You see? And that's what's going to happen to everybody outside this council without that faith. Because what else are these people going to, lean on to help them out? They're going to lean on carnality. They're not going to lean on Yahweh Shemel Washai. So that's going to be that, hey, then shall it be known who are my chosen, man. You see? So the elect has nothing to worry about. But as for you people outside this council, it's only going to get worse from here for you, man. But Lord willing, that was edifying. I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the man who taught me this truth. Peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect, you men, women, and little ones that believe on the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.